What's up, guys? So here are my picks for UFC on ESPN, Korean Zombie versus Brian Ortega. And I'll just be doing the main card, but just before I do that, real quick, just my results for last week. I hit 8 out of 13 total, and out of the ones that I covered and talked about, I hit 4 out of 6. I missed. I picked Ben. I'll mention real quick the ones that I lost. So I picked Ben Rothwell to win by decision. He lost by decision. He looked like absolute shit. I picked Salal by TKO round 2, and he lost by decision. Topuria, and I saw a lot of people picking Topuria to upset. So I guess those people were right. The other 3 that I missed was the Kasanganai, who got knocked out in that brutal, spectacular fashion. I picked Al-Kaisi by decision, Nascimento by submission, and all 3 of them lost. I picked Sanhagen by TKO round 3. He won KO TKO round 2. I picked Barbosa by KO or TKO round 2. He won by decision, but absolutely destroyed Amirkhani. I knew Amirkhani had nothing to offer Barbosa on the stand-up, and I knew he wouldn't be able to take him down, so that was perfectly called in a way. Ospinal was a perfect pick, knockout round 1, and Duplessis destroyed Maluko. That Joker face he has, such an insult to such a legendary face for such a mediocre fighter that he is, but whatever. And yeah, whatever. All right, so Ortega versus Brian Ortega versus Chen Sung Young or Korean Zombie. I have Korean Zombie all the way. I think this is the second time that I talk about. Let's see, how long has it been? Yeah, because ever since I opened my channel, Ortega has only fought 1 time, when he fought Max Holloway, and I was really looking forward to talk about it whenever I did. I actually picked that one correctly, like 100% correct. If I'm not mistaken, I can double check real quick. Yeah, I picked Holloway to win by TKO round 4, and that's how I won, because at the end of round 4, the doctor stopped the fight. But I talk about how Max Holloway, every second of the fight was on a stand-up. Max Holloway was gonna put an absolute beating on him, and he did. Like round 1 was kind of competitive, but still, I gave it to Holloway. Round 2, he used him as a human punching bag. Round 3 was competitive again a little bit, and then round 4 again, Holloway used him as a punching bag. But leading up to that fight, what I had talked about was so basically I have Korean Zombie winning I have KO or TKO round 2, possible decision, but I'm picking a finish here. Brian Ortega has nothing on the stand-up for Korean Zombie, in my opinion, and in my opinion, he has nothing on the stand-up for anyone in that division of the elite. And while Brian Ortega has submissions, I talked about this when he fought Max Holloway, he has no takedown ability. It's non-existent whatsoever. If you look at his last 3 fights before, and again, this is something I talked about over 2 years ago now, about 2 years ago when he fought Holloway. If you look at his fight with Moicano was putting a beating on him on the stand-up, and every single takedown attempt from Ortega, Moicano stopped it. And then, for whatever unknown reason, Moicano shoots for a takedown, even though he's winning the stand-up, and he gets caught in the guillotine. But let's make no mistake, Brian Ortega didn't take him down and submit him. He couldn't. After that was Cub Swanson, where again, every single takedown from Ortega, Cub Swanson stopped it effortlessly. People need to remember that it was a standing guillotine that Ortega caught him in. And I think it was the second round, and I gave round 1 to Cub Swanson on the striking. After that became Frankie Edgar, which he finished in the first round, but it was one of those fights where Frankie Edgar was actually doing pretty good. I think he was outstriking Ortega 3-1, And if you go watch the fight, you'll see the stats at the bottom. So Frankie Edgar was winning that fight. And again, he stopped a couple of takedowns from Ortega, and then eventually Ortega landed an uppercut that I think it was an uppercut that knocked him out. But it was bound to happen. You know, Frankie Edgar was getting up there in age. And if you look at the two common opponents between them two, Moicano and Frankie Edgar, which are Korean Zombie's last two fights, Korean Zombie destroyed, massacred both Moicano and Frankie Edgar. First round, both of them effortlessly. Ortega was losing to Moicano, and he would have lost that fight if it wasn't because Moicano shoots for a takedown. And Frankie Edgar was doing pretty good against him. Ortega hasn't fought in almost 2 years. He's not the better striker. He has the better submissions, but that's it. But I don't think he'll be able to take Korean Zombie down and submit him. But so yeah, Korean Zombie by KO or TKO round 2. I think he keeps the fight standing and puts up a striking clinic on Ortega. Before that, we have Jessica Andrade versus Caitlin Chookagian. I have Andrade by decision, possibly a TKO, maybe, but no, most likely a decision. I just think that Andrade is the better striker, and good enough of a grappling so that Chookagian doesn't do to her what she did to Antonina Shevchenko, where, I mean, if you watch that fight, first of all, Andrade's last fight was versus Rose Namajunas. It was a split decision, but I didn't think it was split. I think Rose clearly won. Well, not clearly, but I think she won round 1 and 2, and then lost round 3. But it wasn't like she steamrolled through Andrade. Andrade had her moments, but I had a 29-28 Namajunas. And Chookagian, for 90% of the fight, just laid on top of Antonina Shevchenko. Little to no damage, just laid on top of her, controlled her, and pulled a decision. I don't think she'll be able to do that to Andrade, so Andrade keeps it standing, pulls a decision. And then Modestas Bukauskas and Jimmy Crute. This is one of those fights where I feel like there's going to be an upset. I'm picking Jimmy Crute submission round 2. That's officially my pick, but there's a huge, like, what if? I feel like if Bukauskas watched Crute's last fight, he had to have work on his takedown defense. How could you not? Because Jimmy Crute just completely dominated Michael Oleksiejczuk, whatever, and submitted him on the first round. Takedown after takedown after takedown for the couple times that Michael got up. So if Bukauskas' team saw that fight, for sure they had to prepare him for that. And that's where I give Bukauskas a chance. I feel like if he can keep the fight standing, he can possibly outstrike Jimmy Crute, maybe get a TKO. But I feel like this will be a repetition of what Jimmy Crute did to Oleksiejczuk, whatever, where he'll just take him down. And I'm picking Jimmy Crute by submission round 2. But again, if Bukauskas can keep it standing, he could very well upset with the TKO. And then Claudio Silva versus James Krause. I have James Krause by KO or TKO round 3. You know, Claudio Silva, he hasn't fought in a year and 2 months. He's getting up there in age. He's almost 40. He's 38. He's not bigger. He doesn't have the reach that Krause has. And if you look at Krause fights with Warley Alves, who's a strong, powerful striker and grappler, he wasn't able to do anything to Krause. And Krause was aware. I think it's going to be one of those situations, just like I just got a text message. I lost my thought. I think James Krause is very aware of what Claudio Silva can do, and he's going to be very well prepared to to stop that takedown. Carlos Silva significantly slows down. I think it was a fight with not with Cole Williams, but with Danny Roberts, where even though he won, you could still see that by round 2, it had significantly a slowdown. Krause doesn't slow down. Krause doesn't. He keeps up a very good pace. In Krause's last fight, I don't know if you know, against Trevin Gals, he took that fight on less than a day's notice. I think it was like 20-something hours day's notice. Not only did he was that, but he took it as a middleweight, and these guys fight welterweight. And he still lost a split decision, which a lot of people think that he won. So taking it on less than a day's notice, on a higher weight class, and barely losing a split, that should show you how good Krause is. He's prepared for this fight. So Krause TKO round 3. I think he keeps it standing. Eventually Silva gets tired and he finishes him. And then Thomas Almeida versus Jonathan Martinez. Almeida, man, he hasn't fought in almost 3 years. So he's taking a lot of time off. I have Almeida winning by knockout round 3. Knockout round 1. And the reason is because I'm going to believe that because he's such a young kid. Well, not a young kid. He's 29. But I think this time off is actually have done good to him, his chin, his body overall. And on top of that, Jonathan Martinez doesn't impress me at all. Like, at all. I don't think his striking is any better than Thomas Almeida. And like I said, I think this reset for Almeida is going to help him out. And I just think he's the way better striker, way faster striker, more explosive, more everything, really. I just think that in every single aspect of striking, Thomas Almeida is the better guy. So I'm picking him to win by KO or TKO round 1. So I have Korean Zombie by KO or TKO round 2. Jessica Andrade by decision. Crute by submission round 2, but Bukauskas could upset if he keeps it standing. Krause by KO or TKO round 3. And Thomas Almeida by KO or TKO round 1. All right, you'll have a good one.